bottom of the first. In fact, she helped out her own cause by getting on base to the hit and then scoring on an error. Yale would like to try and turn that around and help out her own cause as well. So here's the first pitch of the inning from Bartles. Outside, ball one. A few of the Concordia fans thought that might have caught the plate. Umpire said nope. There's a pitch swung on and hit into center field, and it's going to be over the center fielder's head, Lofton. Bailey Yale will hold up with a single. And Shelby Hayes is coming on as the courtesy runner for Bailey Yale. And that's going to bring up Kana Miller now. Miller, the designated player for the flex player of Kylie Reisick. Swung on, and that one is fouled back to the screen. It is 200 down the lines here at the ballparks in Crosby softball field. 225 to the alleys and 250 to dead center. The fence is 8 feet all the way around except for center field where it goes up to 10. Here's Bartles' pitch, and that's a line shot right up the middle. Quickly retrieved by Lofton. That forces the runner to hold at second, but the Eagles now have 2 on and nobody out here as Paige Miller, the starting left fielder, heads to the plate. Here's Paige Miller. That one is outside for ball one. So after a relatively easy first inning, Emma Bartles is running into some trouble here in the second and trying to work out of it. And that one hit Paige Miller. So now the bases are... So now there's a flock of Eagles on base and nobody out. This will draw the infield in. First pitch inside for a ball. As Lauren Urbe. That is ball 2 to Urbe. That one is in there for a strike. Brings the count to 2-1. Urbe looking to drive something here if possible. Swung on and popped up. The catcher will come back and take a look. And it is now clanging on the roof. So that does, however, bring our count now to 2-2. As Emma Bartles looks to get the first out of the inning right here. Popped up. Here's the shortstop, and she secures it, and here comes the runner home. And she is out. The runner from second did advance to third, but the Cardinals do a great job of cutting down the run there. And now all of a sudden it's a double play. Lauren Hidalgo now at the plate. That one's outside. Brings the count to 2-0. We have runners at first and third and 2 outs. A very nice play by the shortstop Hermosia to catch a pretty sky-high pop-up after she was pulled in, going backwards, and then be able to throw home and get the out there. Caitlin Hidalgo looking to try and tie up the game right here. Here's Bartle's pitch. Outside, evens the count at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Outside again, and that evens the count, or draws the count full. Swung on and popped up. The third baseman, Terry, looking over, and she secures the catch in foul territory. So the Eagles loaded up the bases, but some good defense by Concordia snuffs out the threat in the top of the second. So after an inning and a half of play, our score here at the Division IV semifinal in TAPS softball, the Concordia Cardinals 1, Texoma Christian Eagles 0. You're watching continuing coverage of the TAPS softball championships here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. Here we are for the bottom half of the second inning. Abby Wirchin, number 23, leading off for the Cardinals this inning. Here's Yale's pitch. Outside, ball 1. That one catches the outside part of the plate. Evens the count at 1-1. Yale is the left fielder. She'll be followed by the center fielder, Cassidy Klepper, and then the shortstop, Keely Westveld. The second. Westveld is second base, And ball's in there for strike 2. Bailey Yale now with the advantage. And she looks to record the first out of the inning. Swung on, foul back. 1-2 the count to Warchin. That ball's low and outside. Evens the count up at 2-2. Infield standing at normal depth, although the third baseman's So you're getting audio in there? I'm not getting any audio on this thing. See if you can pump up the phones, I guess. First strike by Yale. As she deals with the number 8 hitter and Klepper. Outside, ball 1. Evens the count. There we go. Now I've got audio in my headphones as well. So here is Yale's pitch. Shows bunt and it goes foul. If she's going to bunt that, she may want to try and bunt that down the first base line and force the pitcher to get it. Yale had the error in the first inning, which helped lead to the run. Swung on and missed, and that is strike number 3. So that ends that at bat, and now Keely Westveld, the second baseman, is up to bat.
And now coming to bat, number 2, Keely Westveld.
Bailey Yale looking to execute the 1-2-3 inning, and starts off with strike 1. Texoma Christian made it here to the state, not only the state championships, made it to the championship game last year. Unfortunately for them, Bailey Yale took a line drive shot off of her pitching arm early in the game, wasn't able to continue as Texoma Christian fell to a tremendous Belleville Faith Academy team. Concordia, this is only the 4th year for their program, and they made it to the state semifinals in their 2nd year, so they have shown themselves to be a rising power in softball here in Division 4. Swung on, slapper, the second baseman picks it up. Urbe to Hidalgo records the out, and that is the end of the 2nd inning of play. Our score still remains at this point. Round Rock Concordia. I had Concordia Lutheran with baseball. I say Round Rock Concordia 1, Sherman Texoma Christian 0. You're watching and listening to coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. All right, we are now getting ready to begin the 3rd inning of play. This is Mike Weber live here at the ballparks in Crosby, Texas, in the northeast part of Harris County, where the TAPS baseball and softball championships are taking place again this year. So we see the teams for our next game, Shiner St. Paul and Hallettsville Sacred Heart, are already here in the stands, getting a preview of their potential opponent. And the first pitch swinging by number 10, Lexi Tan, goes foul. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count now. Swung on and missed. Brings the count to 1-2. 1-2. And speaking with Coach Bartles before the game, he said that they had a tremendous group of senior leadership, including the starting pitcher, his daughter, Emma Bartles, also Diana Combs and Allie Shiro. And there's a little chopper over to third, and the third baseman, Terry, not able to handle it. And Lexi Tan gets on base. We'll see how they rule that. I think they're going to rule that one an error. Would have been a little bit of a tough play because it was a bit of a slow roller out to third. But that's a runner on there for Texoma Christian, and now number 20, Bree Yale, the shortstop, is up to bat. That first pitch is outside. Swung on and driven into left field. The left fielder is back, and Warchin makes the out. Drives Lexi Tan back to first base. Looked like it had a good chance to be a hit, but stayed up long enough, and Warchin was able to camp under it. And that's going to bring up Tori Jobs to the plate for Texoma Christian. My apologies for not being on the air at the start of the game. We were having a little bit of a technical difficulty, but we got it taken care of, so we are good to go. Jobs, according to Coach Chafin, is something of a likes to do the slap hit, so we'll see her charging the ball here. And the ball gets away, and it's going to be a free base there for Lexi Tan, who advances on the wild pitch. So now the Eagles have a runner in scoring position as Jobs looks to try and advance her. 1-1 the count now. Yeah, Jobs did swing at that last pitch. Here's the pitch. That one is just off the plate. Brings the count to 2-1 now. Lexi Tan at second would be the tying run. Here's the pitch. Swung on. There's the slapper to the pitcher over to first. Gets the out. Lexi Tan advances over to third. So now the Eagles have a runner on third with 2 outs. And Tinsley Love coming to the plate, the starting catcher for Texoma Christian. If Love is able to make it on base, she'll be followed by the starting pitcher, Bailey Yale. Just off the plate, and that'll be ball 1. That slap hit almost is pretty similar to a bunt. Swung on back to the screen, and that is a foul ball right there. That'll even the count. There's not a great deal of distance between the home plate and backstop and screen here, as opposed to the baseball stadium where there's quite a bit of distance. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2-1 the count. Emma Bartles has been like Bailey Yale, has been the primary pitcher for Concordia throughout the year. Here's the pitch, swung on and skied into center field. Lofton is there and records out number 3. So the Eagles get a runner over to third, but cannot get her home after 2.5 innings of play. It is Concordia Cardinals 1, Texoma Christian Eagles 0, here on continuing coverage of the TAPS State Baseball and Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. Getting start for the ready to start the bottom of the third. Emma Bartles, the starting pitcher, will go for some pitcher-on-pitcher action against Bailey Yale. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Reminder, at 12:30, we're going to have our second Division IV semifinal, and that is going to feature a district rematch between the Shiner St. Paul Cardinals and the Hallettsville Sacred Heart Indianettes. One of the most intense rivalries in the state of Texas, not just TAPS, between these two schools in cities that are relatively close to each other. 1-1 the count now to Bartles. Swung on, fouled off. That one's headed into the visitors' bullpen area. Bailey looking in, gets the signal, and here's the pitch. Off the outside part of the plate, and Bartles held up her swing. Brings the count to 2-2. And here's the pitch. Swung on and right to the first baseman, Hidalgo, who will take the ball over to first and secure the first out of the inning for the Eagles. Bailey Yale, after getting into some trouble in that first inning, is now starting to settle into a little bit of a groove. This is going to bring up Sophie Hermosia, the starting shortstop for the Cardinals, who made a very nice defensive play to keep a run off the board in the second inning. That pitch is in there for the first strike. That one is outside. Evens the count at 1-1. Hermosia steps back into the box. Yale looks in, getting the signs. And here's the pitch. That is strike two right there. Catches the upper part of the strike zone. Right now, temperature and weather right now in Crosby at 79 degrees. Wind's picked up a little bit out of the east at 6. It is humid, as is typical for the Houston area. It's 62% humidity. Fortunately, no rain in the forecast. That one is outside, evens the count at 2-2. Now, looking at the forecast for this week, it looks like we're going to avoid any sort of rain until Saturday, when we have the Division 1 and 2 state championship games in softball and the Division 5 championship in baseball. Here's Yale's pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. Hidalgo goes down swinging. And that is going, Hermosia goes down swing, and that's going to bring up Diana Combs. I had a couple players confused there. Diana Combs, the first baseman for the Cards. Yale looking to execute another 1-2-3 inning. Here's a pitch, and there's the bunt, and it goes foul. The catcher, Love, made a diving attempt for it. It was just out of her reach. It was popped up just enough to be counted as a foul ball that you could catch, but didn't quite work. Didn't quite work in getting to it. Maybe with robotic arms she could have gotten to it, but not in this case. Inspector Gadget arms. Here's Yale's pitch. And that one is in there for strike two. 0-2 count now to Diana Combs as Yale looks to end the third inning right here. Here's pitch. Swung on and missed, strike three. And that is the end of the third inning of play. So our score remains after 3. The Round Rock Concordia Cardinals 1, the Sherman Texoma Christian Eagles 0. You are watching continuing coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships here on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. Getting set to begin top of the fourth inning here. Bailey Yale, the starting pitcher for the Eagles, will be first up. She'll be followed by Kana Miller, the designated player, and then left fielder Paige Miller. As Emma Bartles looks to match Yale in putting up zeros on the board. Yale had a big hit in the first inning, and then was replaced by the courtesy runner on the base paths. That first pitch is outside for a ball. Swung on, high in the air. The first baseman, Combs, is under it and puts that one away. That is the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Kana Miller. Concordia looking to advance to their first state championship game. They made it to this ground ball to the shortstop, over to first base. Hermosillo to Combs, gets the out. Nice drop, nice reach there by the first baseman Combs to be able to get that ball before Miller was able to hit the bag. Now this is the second trip to the state tournament for Concordia. They were here 2 years ago, lost in the semis, looking to advance to the championship round. Here's Paige Miller. That pitch is outside for ball number one. Bartles' pitch, swung on right to the shortstop, Hermosillo, over to Combs, and that is the end of the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Concordia Cardinals. After 3.5 innings of play here at the ballparks in Crosby, our score is Cardinals 1, Eagles 0. You are watching continuing coverage of the TAPS Softball Championships here on TAPS TV and listening also on TAPS Radio. And we are back here at this Division IV semifinal in softball. Behind me, I can hear the PA going for the introduction of our first baseball game of the day, which is the Division I Boys Baseball Championship between Argyle Liberty Christian and Houston St. Thomas. Liberty Christian won their game in a walk-off from the bottom of the seventh, 3-2. While St. Thomas scored a first inning run and then didn't allow anything for the rest of the game as they triumphed over Tomball Concordia Lutheran 1-0. Allie Shiro, the starting catcher, up to bat first. Here's Yale's pitch. Outside, ball one. So far, the key play in the game, after the Cardinals were able to plate a run in the first, in the second inning, the Eagles had the bases loaded, there was a pop-up that the shortstop who was pulled in on the play had to go back and get, as that pitch by Yale hits Shiro on the shoulder, and she will take the base. Getting back to that play, the first base, the shortstop, Hermosia, had to back up from being pulled in to catch it at the edge of the infield turf, and then she was able to throw home and get the runner who was going from third out. The Eagle, Olivia Terry, number 21, the third baseman, now up to bat for Concordia. So that turned what might have been a run into a double play right there, and Bartles was able to get the next batter out. And since then, she shut them down for the next 2 innings afterwards. That one's outside for ball 1. Yale gave up 1 run in the first, which was aided by an error. But since then, she's managed to get into a groove and shut the Cardinals down as well. 1-0 the count. That one is on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. So 1-1 the count now to Olivia Terry. Yale's pitch. And it's a bunt attempt. Love is out there to get it. She's not able to handle it. And Olivia Terry not only gets the run over to second, but she makes it to first. So now the Cardinals have 2 runners on with nobody out. And Carson Lofton, the center fielder, wearing number 6, has a chance to try and add to Concordia's lead.
Number 6, Carson Lofton.
So far, Emma Bartles is the only person who has actually crossed home plate, and there's the bunt over to first base, and the first baseman has a hard time picking up, and everyone is safe. So just like in the first inning when we had a flock of Eagles on base, now we've got a flock of Cardinals with bases loaded and nobody out. It was a well-executed bunt. Hidalgo had a little bit of trouble picking it up. Again, even though this is a turf field, we've seen so far from both baseball today and softball here that the ball doesn't necessarily rocket along like you may have seen on previous versions of field turf or AstroTurf. It definitely does not. It definitely doesn't go rocketing off like it used to at places like Royal Stadium or the Astrodome did back in the day when those or Montreal's Olympic Stadium when those places had the old school AstroTurf. Of course, if you ask any player played on that stuff, they probably would have called it a career shortener. See Vladimir Guerrero for further details. And Shiner St. Paul's girls are now leaving the stands. It looks like they're going to head over to the warm-up areas. And after Coach Chafin has a conference on the mound with her team to set up the defense and give them some encouragement and some words of wisdom, Yale now is facing off against Carson Lofton. Third base and first base are playing way up, as is the entire infield. If Lofton can get it over their heads. Strike 1 there. Outside part of the plate. Excuse me, it's Abby Werchin at bat. The conference was so long I'd forgotten who was at bat, but Abby Werchin is now the batter, the left fielder. If she can get that. There's a bunt, but it is ruled foul. So that is going to bring the count to 0-2. And that will likely take the bunt off. Yale stepping in, looking to try and get at least the first out right here. Limit any damage. Swung on and missed, strike three, and Abby Wirchin goes down on strikes. Okay, a little bit of confusion there on the ruling. I thought that was strike three. Okay, I guess that wasn't. So the count is 1-2. Okay, yeah. Look at the scoreboard. I guess that was incorrect right there. Swung on and right to the first baseman, Hidalgo, who records the out. So that is out number one right there for the Eagles in the inning. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Cassidy Klepper. Again, the infield is pulled in. Outfield also pulled in as well. There's the bunt. It is laid down. The first baseman gets it, drops it, and everyone is safe. And number 4, Ali Shiro, comes across to give the Cards their second run of the game. Round Rock Concordia now leads 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. That is the fourth error today on the Cardinals. Fielding issues have caused them a few problems here today. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Keely Westveld. It was a well-executed bunt. I think it was probably going to get the runner home anyway. Infield still pulled in, and there's the bunt, and it was a popped-up bunt. Hidalgo almost able to run it down. But the third baseman is playing way far in, as is first base. If Westveld could get this over their heads somehow, you're looking at one, maybe 2 runs, depending on where it's placed. Swung on back to the screen, and that's going to bring up an 0-2 count now. Yale looking to try and get out of this inning without any more runs coming across. And I hope that our offense can give her some support. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slap foul. Outside, ball 1. Swung on, popped up in the air, and that one is going to go foul and off of our very loud roof here. Again, the infield drawn well in, the outfield also playing up short. And there's a shot down the right field line, but it goes foul. 1-2 remains the count. Yale looking to try and get the second out of the inning right here. Outside, and that evens the count at 2-2. Swung on, foul back to the screen. Westveld staying alive. To the count. Here's a pitch to Westveld. High, ball 3. So now we have a full count right here. Here's Yale's pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Westveld goes down on strikes, but that is going to bring up the starting pitcher, Emma Bartles, who would love to give herself some extra insurance runs.
Back now, number 7, Emma Bartles.
Bases are still loaded. The infield is playing a little bit further back on this one. In fact, I would say this is normal depth. That first pitch is in there for a ball. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2-0 the count. Bartles not offering at a couple pitches out of the zone. Now draws the hitter's count as Bailey will have to make sure she pounds the zone on this one. Here's the pitch. 3-0 the count now. And one would think that Bartles will be taking all the way here. Here's the pitch from Bailey Yale. That one is in there for the first strike. 3-1 the hitter's count. We'll see if Bartles has the green light or takes another one. Coach Jason Bartles has Bartles' team is up 2-0 right now and looking to add to it. And that one is high for ball number 4, and that will walk in the run as Emma Taylor, excuse me, not Emma Taylor, Olivia Terry, crosses home plate and gives the Cardinals a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. And that's going to bring up Sophie Hermosia, the starting shortstop, looking to try and add on to the Cardinals' run total here.
Now coming to bat, number 1, Sophie Hermosia.
Here's the pitch, well inside. Hermosia has to move back to avoid getting plunked right there. Although with bases loaded, that might not be the worst thing to take a pitch. if it's just going to hit your bicep, it wouldn't be the worst place to get hit. Inside again, 2-0 the count. Yale trying to get out of this inning without allowing the 4th run to cross the plate. As Emma Bartles has been pretty tough on the mound, and they do not want to have to try and stage that big of a comeback. And right now, Bailey Yale is having a bit of trouble finding the zone, as this is the second straight batter that has drawn a 3-0 count. Here's Yale with the pitch. That was a strike. The Love tried to catch the runner on third. Got to catch her napping, threw over there, but she was back in time to avoid the out. Swung on, right back to the pitcher and off of her arm, and everyone is safe. And here comes the throw home, and a second runner is in. So Lofton and Klepper both score on that play. Another error on Texoma Christian, and that allows 2 runs to score. And Concordia is now leading 5-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. And the inning will continue with Diana Combs.
Number 18, Diana Combs.
At first pitch outside. Base is still loaded, still 2 outs. That one is inside for ball 2. Yale trying to find her feel for the strike zone again. And Combs would love to get a hit right here. Outside, ball 3. That's the 3 straight batters that have drawn a 3-0 count. My guess is she will be taking all the way here. And that is ball 4. Okay, my mistake. First base was open, so that is going to load the bases up right there. But that is going to bring up the cleanup hitter, number 4, Allie Shiro.
Now coming back, number 4, Allie Shiro.
This inning is now continuing as the umpires call timeout for something. Yale having a little bit of laboring a little bit in the heat out there. It's not a scorching hot day out here in Crosby, but the humidity is up there. Shiro is wearing the pitcher's face guard. That is optional equipment. Personally, I would definitely wear one of those myself. Do not want a hot shot coming back and getting to you. Here's a pitch, and that hits the batter. And that's going to drive another run in. Shiro advances down to first. Number 7, Emma Bartles, heads home and puts the Cardinals up 6-0 here in the bottom of the 4th as this inning continues. Coach Chafin out to the mound to talk to her team. And it looks like she's coming over to talk to the umpire. We might be getting a pitching change here. They're gonna change something. As Ashley Chafin has made the announcement, that looks like Bree Yale, the starting shortstop, will be moving onto the pitcher's mound. That will end Bailey Yale's day with 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. Ends her day at 83 pitches. Six runs scored off of her. I'll have to double check and see how many of those are earned runs, because the Eagles did have had a number of errors in this game, which have helped lead to runs. But Bree Yale, her younger sister, will now be coming on to pitch, and we'll take a look and see who moves over to the shortstop position. Kana Miller, who is listed as the designated player, is now moving over to the shortstop position. Look to see if there are any other defensive changes, but I don't think that is. Miller was the designated player, so there would not be a need for a double switch on any other players out there. And we'll see if somebody else moves into that designated player role. That person is batting for the center fielder, Kylie Reisick. And we're almost done here with our warm-up pitches. Situation is still the same. We have bases loaded and 2 outs. The Cardinals have plated 5 in this inning. Now take a 6-0 lead, and they are looking to possibly add to it. The Eagles are wearing the red jerseys with black pants and and red stirrups, white numbers with the black outline. The Cardinals have all black uniforms with the red numbers on the back and the script Cardinals on the front. Again, this is our first of 2 Division IV semifinals today. Our second one is scheduled to start at 12:30, and that is going to feature a district rivalry of a very fierce South Texas rivalry between the Cardinals of Shiner St. Paul Catholic School and the Indianettes of Hallettsville Sacred Heart Catholic School. And so now we're set to begin again, and Olivia Terry, the third baseman, who scored earlier this inning, is back up, and there's a little slap shot. Oh, hang on. There was a collision there between the runner and the second baseman, and the umpire is going to call interference right there, and that is going to be the end of the inning. A little bit of bad luck right there as the ball happened to go right where the runner was going to, but it is the runner's job to avoid running into the infielder. So that brings us to the end of the fourth inning of play. The Cardinals plate 5 and lead right now Concordia Cardinals 6, Texoma Christian Eagles 0. Here at the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. And that is the last warm-up pitch of the inning. Emma Bartles, after a rather long break right there, will come back out. We'll see how she does with the long time between innings right there. But her team has now staked her to a 6-0 lead. And I think just about any pitcher will exchange a long time to wait for a 6-run lead. Lauren Urbe, the second baseman, will be leading off the inning, and she hits one to third base. Third base has a bit of a hard time picking up. It looked like it was going to stay up long enough for Terry to get to it, and then it didn't, and Terry had a little bit of difficulty picking it up. So Urbe is on first now, and that's going to be ruled as an error right there. Caitlin Hidalgo, the first baseman, now up to bat. And here's Bartles' pitch. Outside, ball 1. Swung on, and it is caught and dropped. No, it wasn't dropped. I thought it was dropped, but then then it looks like the shortstop bobbled it, but then Westveld, the second baseman, was able to come in and get it. So my apologies there. I thought for sure that thing was
Lexi Tan.
Was headed for the ground. Lexi Tan now at bat. And this is a possible double play right here. But instead, Hermosillo will just take the out at first as she forces Hidalgo out. The Eagles are being much more aggressive at swinging early in the count so far this inning. Swung on, and that'll get past shortstop. And that's another first pitch swinging right there. Guess they're going to go down. They're going to go down firing as Brielle gets on base, and Tori Jobs, the third baseman, now up to bat. Bartles going to have to adjust to a suddenly much more aggressive Eagle lineup.
Tori Jobs.
That was the swung on, slapped right back to the pitcher, over to first. And that is the third out of the inning, so more aggression from the Eagles that inning. Leave a couple runners on, but after 4.5 innings of play, our score remains the Round Rock Concordia Cardinals 6, Texoma Christian Eagles 0, here on continuing coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. And we are set to begin the bottom half of the fifth inning. Brielle, who's taken over as the pitcher, is on the mound. Carson Lofton at the plate. And that is a strike one for Brielle. Here's the pitch, showing the bunt, and it is executed. But the third baseman gets it, but it gets past the first baseman. Actually, it gets past the second baseman, Urbe, who was covering as Hidalgo was charging in for the bunt. So Lofton is aboard.
Now coming to bat, number 23, Abby Warchin.
Abby Warchin, the left fielder, now up to bat for Concordia. Here's the pitch. And there's bunt. That one goes foul. is the bottom part of the order for Concordia. Swung on and hit to short, over to second for the first out. Fortune will make it over to first on the fielder's choice, but that was Miller over to Urbe, and that erases Lofton from the base paths. So that's one away right there, and it's going to bring up number 9, Cassidy Klepper, also in position number 9, the right fielder for Concordia.
In the bat, number 9, Cassidy Klepper.
Here's Brielle's pitch, swung on, and that's going to go fall right in front of the first baseman, who is able to tag out the runner Klepper as she was going by. She had it for a second, dropped it, but when she gathered it up, she was in perfect position to tag Klepper, who was running by. Orchin does advance down to second, so they do have a runner in scoring position. And that's going to bring up the number 9 batter, Keely Westfeld, who was part of that big rally. And it looks like Coach Bartles wants to have a little bit of a talk to make sure that everything with that play was copacetic. And it looks like now the umpires are going to have a little bit of a conference right here. Yep, and the ruling stands. She was out. Might have been trying to claim possible interference with Hidalgo possibly moving into the running lane of the runner, but they ruled that was not the case, and Westveld is now up to bat. Brielle getting set to and showing bunt. And now they're going to try and steal, and she gets in there. Abby Worchin steals third as the throw was offline. And Jones, the third baseman, had a little hard time grabbing it. So Worchin is now just 90 feet away. So a couple other possibilities to score a run are in play now. Swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Swung on, fouled off, and that one hit the catcher in the mask, and she is feeling that one right there. They're going to have Coach Chafin going to come out and talk with her player, make sure she's okay. We do have on-site trainers here today from the Andrews Institute for Children's Health. Yeah, catcher can be a brutal position, not only having to squat all the time, which is very hard on your legs, but you are frequently on the receiving end of foul tips off of your mask, and on occasion bats that are coming around and hitting the back of your mask. Here's Yale's pitch. Swung on, strike 3, and that ends the inning. 1 runner left on, and after 5 full innings of play, our score remains the Round Rock Concordia Cardinals 6, Sherman Texoma Christian Eagles 0, here on continuing coverage of the TAPS Softball Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio, as we are treated to the lovely sounds of Vanilla Ice. All right, getting set to begin the top of the sixth as we had a number of people dancing along to Ice Ice Baby from Vanilla Ice. I remember when that came out, he was trying to portray himself as somebody from a hard part of Miami, and actually, no, you weren't, pal. You went to R.L. Turner in Carrollton. Leading off is number 32, Tinsley Love, and her first swing gets the ball down for a hit. Excuse me, I was adjusting some papers right there. That was over the shortstop's head. Again, that is another first pitch swing right there. The Eagles have suddenly adopted a very aggressive attitude in terms of swinging since giving up that 5 spot, and they do not want to let Bartles settle into any sort of a groove. Love is going to stay on base. They will not be bringing up a courtesy runner for her, and swung on and missed. That is number 16, Jada Whitson, who is taking over the batting spot that Bailey Yale had. And quickly, Emma Bartles goes up 0-2 on her. Ball is high, 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Whitson goes down on strikes. And that is going to bring up, that should be bringing up Kana Miller right here. Yes, it is, and Miller slaps that first pitch out into left field. Down for a base hit. That advances Love over to second base, so 2 runners on. 1 out for Paige Miller as Texoma tries to rally here in the top of the 6th. They got to get something going quick because there's not many innings left. That one is popped up and falls in, and everyone is going to be safe. Kind of into no man's land right there. The center fielder Lofton came in, wasn't able to come up, make the catch, and then had a little bit of a hard time fielding the ball. So now we have bases loaded and 1 out. And Lauren Urbe, the second baseman, is up to bat. Outside, ball 1. And the Bartles running into a little bit of trouble here. We saw this in the last inning where the Eagles started being much more aggressive early in the count. Swung on and missed. Ball gets away a little bit from the catcher, but not so far enough that anyone is going to attempt to take off running. Count is 0-1 right now. Actually, that should be 1-1. Here's a pitch. Outside. Should bring up a count of 2-1. Too far inside. That'll bring up a 3-1 count. Bartles running into a little bit of trouble here in the top half of the 6th. That one hits the outside corner of the plate, and that brings the count full. Urbe being very patient here. Here's Bartle's pitch. Outside for ball 4, and that is going to walk in the second run of the game the first run of the game for Texoma Christian, as Tinsley Love touches home plate and heads back to the dugout. And now Caitlin Hidalgo, the first baseman, is up to bat for Texoma Christian, trying to rally here in the late innings. Bartle's pitch. A little too far inside. Catches the inside part of the plate. Strike one. And the pitch. Outside. 1-1. A little gamesmanship between the runner on third and the catcher. Goes nowhere. And swing and a miss. Strike two. Looks like Bartles may have taken a little something off of that pitch. And Hidalgo was way out in front of it. And the pitch. Just outside, evens the count at 2-2. Concordia still playing at normal depth. Swing and a miss, strike three. And that is the second out of the inning. Emma Bartles still has bases loaded with Eagle players, but looking to get out of the inning with just the one run coming across. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up. Could be trouble. Here comes the center fielder, Lofton. Able to come in and secure the catch, and that is the third out of the inning. The Eagles load them up and get one run across, but 3 runners left on base after 5.5 innings of play. Your score here at this Division IV State Championship semifinal. The Concordia Cardinals 6, Texoma Christian Eagles 1, here on continuing coverage of the TAPS Softball State Championships on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio. Getting set to begin the bottom of the 6th inning right here. Bree Yale on the mound for the Cardinals. She took over from her sister Bailey, who was the starting pitcher. Texoma Christian trailing 6-1 in this contest. A little something going there in that last inning, but only able to plate the 1 run. And we're going to be led off by the starting pitcher, Emma Bartles. Got out of the jam in that inning and now would like to get something going here to add some extra insurance runs. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Outside, ball 2. Bartles quickly gets herself into a favorable count right here against Bree Yale. Swung on, and that one's going to be fouled off. 2-1 the count now to Bartles. That one just off the inside part of the plate, and that'll bring the count to 3-1. We'll see if Bartles has the green light to swing away here. And Bartles draws the walk. So that's one aboard with nobody out, and that's going to bring Sophie Hermosia to the plate. Looking over at the scoreboard, it looks like we just had a home run there for Liberty. Hermosia's bunt is back to the screen. As they currently lead 6-0 in the top of the second over at the baseball diamond. Liberty Christian looking to win back-to-back state championships in baseball. Here's a pitch. Outside. Oh, correction, that one did hit the outside part of the plate, so it's 0-2 the count now to Hermosia. Yale looking in. And that one hits Hermosia. She will take second. Bartles over, she'll take first. Bartles over to second. And now Diana Combs, the starting first baseman, will at bat.
Number 18, Diana Combs.
So she's got 2 aboard. Nobody out. As the Cardinals would like to get back that run they gave up in the top of the 6th. Here's Bree Yale's pitch, and there's a bunt right to the third baseman. She throws over to first, gets the out. The runners advance to second and third. Bartles looked like she was going to try and see if she could catch the first baseman napping, but no go there. So we have runners now at second and third. Bartles at third, Hermosia at second. And Ali Shiro, the catcher, is now to bat for Concordia. Swung on, past the third baseman. It was off her glove. 1 run is home. Hermosia dives back into third. Bartles scores, and Shiro takes second on the defensive play. So the Cardinals get that run back. They currently lead 7-1. And they have runners at second and third with 2 outs. Olivia Terry at bat. Here's a pitch from Bree Yale. Swung on, hit right to the third baseman, who throws over to first. And a little bit of confusion out there. The first baseman, Hidalgo, walked the ball back to the pitcher. I guess she decided to make sure that nobody advanced rather than try and get somebody out and potentially allow someone else to advance. So that is 2 outs in the inning now. Yale's pitch, right back to her, over to first. And that is the end of the 6th inning of play. But after 6 full innings of play, Round Rock Concordia now leads 7-1, and they will head into the top of the 7th, looking to put this game away. You are watching continuing coverage of the TAPS State Softball Championships here on TAPS TV and listening live on TAPS Radio. And we're back here finishing with the warm-ups for the Round Rock Concordia Cardinals. We're still waiting for their starting catcher, Allie Sherrow, to get her equipment back on since she was on base when the last out was recorded. Leading off this inning for the Eagles will be Lexi Tan. She'll be followed by Bree Yale and Tori Jobes. And basically their position is simple. They have to score 6 runs in this half of the inning to have any chance of this game continuing. Now, Texoma Christian has found a little bit more success by being very aggressive early in the count on Bartles. So we will see if they continue that trend right here. But the Cardinals are right now 3 outs away from advancing to their first state championship in program history. And the pitch swung on, and that'll be a base hit for Lexi Tan, and she crosses safely. Nice play by Klepper to get to that ball and almost had a chance to throw Tan out at first, but Tan able to cross in time. And that is, by Bree Yale. Bree Yale was the batter. I don't know how I had Lexi Tan right there. So Tori Jobes now up to bat. And again, that's another first pitch swinging for Texoma Christian. Something they weren't doing earlier in the game. Attempted slap hit by Jobes is fouled back to the screen. And brings up an 0-1 count as Emma Bartles looks to end this game well inside, and bring up a count of 1-1 for the Cardinals. There's pitch swung on and slapped foul. Coach Chafin said that Jobes is a definite running slap hitter, but her first 2 swings have gone foul, so it's 1-2 the count. There's the swing, and it is strike 3. And Sherrow threw down over to Combs to try and catch the runner off the base. But Bree Yale was able to get back into the base on time, so that is going to bring up Tinsley Love. Which is outside, ball 1. 1 away here on the top of the 7th as the Cardinals look to close this game out and advance to the state championship game tomorrow. Outside for ball 2. Swung on and popped up, and that is headed straight for the roof. Two and 1 the count now to Tinsley Love. 1 runner on. And it's inside for ball 3, so the count is 3-1. We'll see if Love gets the green light to swing away here. Here's Bartles' pitch. And that is past the third baseman into left field for a hit.
2, Bailey Yale.
Bailey Yale back up to bat now, maybe taking the designated player spot. Yale a power hitter. She drove a ball to the wall in the second inning of play to get a potential rally for the Eagles started, but it got snuffed out by a very, very nice defensive play by Hermosia, their shortstop, on a catch and throw him out double play. Yale was the starting pitcher, ran into some real trouble in the fourth inning. Swung on, and that is going to be caught by the right fielder, Klepper. That was a nice line drive right there. And now the runner from second is in a rundown situation. Now she's taking off for third, and the ball gets away. So the runner at second base advances to third, and runner at first advances to second. But it looked like that was going to be a base hit off the bat, but Klepper came charging in to snare that ball. So now the Cardinals have 2 outs with runners on second and third.
Now coming to bat, number 23,
Kana Miller, who's now playing shortstop, is at bat. Cardinals have a couple runners in scoring position, but they do not have any more outs to play with. Quick conference at the mound with Coach Bartles and his team, discussing the defensive alignments and just encouraging them to let's get this thing done and not let it go any longer. Remember, at 12:30, or approximately 12:30, we're going to have our second contest, and that is featuring Shiner St. Paul, and they will be taking on Hallettsville's Sacred Heart. Swung on into center fielder. Lofton's there, records the out, and that is the ball game. The final score of this Division IV semifinal is the Round Rock Concordia Cardinals 7, the Texoma Christian Eagles 1. On a strength of a 5 spot in the 4th inning, Concordia broke the game open there and cruised on in for the victory, and they will advance to tomorrow's state championship game. We'll keep it on the air for the awards presentation, but for now, this has been your play-by-play man, Mike Webbers, signing off for now. We'll see you back here at 12:30 for Shiner St. Paul Cardinals taking on the Hallettsville Sacred Heart Indianettes in our second Division IV semifinal. Reminder, at 3:30 we'll have our first Division III semifinal, and that will feature Lubbock Christian taking on Waco Riker, and that game will be followed at 6:30 by our other Division III semifinal as Pasadena First Baptist takes on the Woodlands Christian. Until then, I'll be signing off on TAPS TV and TAPS Radio, but stick around to watch the awards presentations live or listen online.